Is your chainsaw cutting slow? Is your chain dull? In this video, I'm going to show you how to hand file your chain. Stick around. Okay, so the first thing I like to do when I'm sharpening my chainsaw is just to check your chain tension. Right here, it's a little loose. So today I'm working on my 450 Rancher Husqvarna. So first thing I want to do is loosen up this nut here. So now it's loose. Now all I need to do is just tighten up the chain tension by tightening the set screw. And that's good tension right there. You can tell it's a lot tighter than it was. Make sure you just tighten up your nut here. These are things I just check for basically in between each tank of gas. It's a good habit to get into. So tension's where it should be now. Now we're ready to file. Before you start sharpening your chain, you need to make sure you have the right size file. This file is a 5/32 file, and you have to get the right size. You look down here, usually it's on your bar. Your bar usually tells you what size chain you need to fit your bar. So this is worn off, but I just know enough that I need a 5/32 for this chain. When you buy your chain, it's gonna have what size file you typically need. So some basic terms of the chain is, so down in here, that's your gullet. And up here is actually right there. That's your cutting tooth. Right at the tip here, right there at the tip, that's where your saw is doing most of its work. So then as you can see, the teeth alternate. So when you're filing, we'll go this way for this one, and then we'll go every other tooth to sharpen. And we'll flip the saw around and we'll hit the other teeth here. So that's the basics of chains and chainsaws. But see right here, this basically helps prevent your saw from kickback, and this also is basically a depth gauge of how far this tooth is allowed to cut into the wood. So basically when I file my chain, I usually don't file these. I usually only hit them maybe one swipe. If you go too much on these, the chain's gonna just bear into the wood too much, and you're gonna increase the chance of kickback on your chain. So that's one thing to note. So don't really mess around with these too much. Once you get more comfortable with filing and you kind of figure out your saw, you can hit these maybe 1 or 2 swipes, and you're taking off a little bit of metal. I mean, you can see I filed this chain 10 times or so. So another thing to note on a tooth is, you see this line right here? Right there. That's the angle that your file needs to be at. So every chain has these, and basically when you file your chain, it's gonna get smaller and smaller and smaller. Once it hits this line, pretty much, your chain needs to be, replaced. So that's the angle that you need to hold your file at. So when I start here, you don't hold it like this. You don't hold it like this. You want it basically nice and flat going across your chain. So just like this, and make sure you get that angle. So this is the angle I need to be at. That's one way to check. And see how it's just hitting that edge right there? It's hard to do one hand. Let's see if I can get it like this. And that's it. You're not sharpening it on the pull back. I'm basically letting it just glide back. So push, straight, and come back. All right, this might make it a little easier. Just so I have 2 hands now. So I got my angle, like I was saying before, that line. And people say, oh, I need 10 swipes per tooth. Every tooth is different. I mean, one tooth might need 30 swipes. Another tooth might need, 5 swipes just to clean up that edge. But if you can feel and touch that compared to this, that's sharp. I touch up here on that edge, that's pretty dull. Here, sharp. Let's just do another one real quick. Let's see if I can get a better angle. I know it's really hard to. So I'm gonna tilt it towards the camera. You can tell this edge is really torn up, like a rock or something. But you can watch it as you're doing this. And then you'll see that point come back. So I'm not even there yet. I gotta keep working on this one because it's really dull. Must have hit like a rock or something, piece of dirt. So yeah, I can feel that edge is coming back again. You gotta work the chain. And I'm not really pushing that hard. You know, I'm literally letting this file do the work. I got a kind of upward pressure to get up underneath this cutting edge, but I'm really not, you know, putting a lot of force on it. See, that's way better. I can feel that, and that is sharp. That's definitely cutting a lot better than what it was before. So I'm gonna go ahead and sharpen all these.